My boyfriend humiliated me in front of his friends and broke up with me at a restaurant, leaving me to cover the bill. As he left, he shouted, "A girl like you should be thankful I even bothered with you." I stayed calm, smiled, and waited. This morning, my phone lit up with 15 missed calls. I'm still reeling from what happened. I keep replaying it, wondering if I imagined it all. But no, my maxed out credit card and the chocolate ice cream stains on my couch prove it was real. For context, I'd been with Ethan for 2 years. 2 years. Not a fling, but a real relationship. We had a routine, lazy Sundays binge-watching shows, tense family holiday dinners, even a couple's dance class he insisted we try. We were terrible at it, honestly. Things weren't flawless. Whose relationship is? But I thought we were strong. We'd even discussed moving in together this fall. He had quirks, leaving dishes in the sink, texting during our movie nights, and making helpful comments about my looks. Things like, "That jacket makes your shoulders look broad," or "Ever thought about changing your makeup?" I brushed it off as honesty. Past me was way too forgiving. Last Friday, Ethan texted about a dinner with his work buddies. He'd never invited me to work events before, always saying it was unprofessional. So I was thrilled. I splurged on a new outfit, goodbye savings, and spent hours getting ready, full makeup, curling iron, the whole deal. The restaurant was fancy, with tiny portions and no prices on the menu. First red flag. Ethan was already there with 2 colleagues, Marcus and Diego. The vibe was off from the start. Ethan barely greeted me, just a half-hearted wave and a curt, "You're late." I was 3 minutes late due to parking. I sat down, and he glanced at my outfit, a sleek green dress I thought looked great, and said, "That's what you picked?" Loudly. His friends exchanged looks, and I felt my cheeks burn. I tried to laugh it off. "What, no dress code memo?" He shrugged and said they'd already ordered appetizers. Great. The next hour was Ethan dominating the conversation with work jargon I didn't follow, while Marcus and Diego nodded along. When I tried to chime in, Ethan either interrupted or corrected me. I mentioned a story about a client at my retail job, and he cut me off with, "She doesn't really get how actual businesses work," with a dismissive gesture. I've been a store manager for 4 years. It got worse. Marcus asked how we met, and I started explaining that my friend Lily, his co-worker, introduced us. Ethan interrupted. "Yeah, Lily felt sorry for her. I was doing her a favor." Then he laughed. My stomach sank. That's not how it happened. Lily had warned me about Ethan's ego, but said he had a good side. Spoiler, he didn't. I excused myself to the bathroom to avoid crying in front of them. In the stall, I texted Lily, "What is going on?" Then I saw Ethan's Instagram story tagging himself at the restaurant with guys' night vibes, like I wasn't even there. Lily called, but I sent it to voicemail to avoid being overheard. I fixed my makeup, gave myself a pep talk, and returned. They stopped laughing when I sat down. The waiter brought our entrees, and Ethan started mocking my order, a simple salad, chosen because I was already worried about the bill. "Watching your figure, huh? And bold choice for your frame." Each jab stung more. I barely ate, just pushed food around, counting the minutes until I could leave. Then Diego asked about a work project, and Ethan launched into a tale about how his boss loved his pitch, and he was basically running the show. But the week before, he'd been panicking about his small role in that same project. It was like he was living in a fantasy. When the bill arrived, $389 for their fancy steaks and drinks, Ethan slid it to me. I thought he was joking. Then he said, "This isn't working." I stared, waiting for the punchline. None came. "I've tried, but I'm not attracted to you anymore. We're done." Right there, in front of his friends, after 2 years. Then, "A girl like you should be grateful I dated you this long. You're not exactly a catch." They walked out, laughing, leaving me with the bill. The waiter's pitying look made it worse. I paid with my credit card, already strained from holiday shopping, and made it to my car before breaking down. I called Lily from the parking lot sobbing. She came over with ice cream and wine, the real hero. Between tears and eating half the pint, I told her everything. She was furious, almost drove to Ethan's place to confront him. Then she dropped a bomb. Ethan wasn't a rising star at work. He was a junior assistant, fetching coffee and booking rooms. His business trips? Lies? His big project? He just made the slides. I felt so stupid. 2 years, and I'd missed all the signs. That night, I went full detective, scrolling through our texts and photos. So many red flags, vague money excuses, late nights at work when his location was elsewhere. At 3 a.m., I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Nate from Ethan's office. Lily gave me your number. You need to know some things." First update, thank you for the support on my last post. It meant the world. Here's what happened next. After learning Ethan was a compulsive liar, I spent days in a breakup haze. My apartment was a mess, takeout containers, laundry piles, and a lingering sense of, did that really happen? I avoided social media, knowing Ethan would post something infuriating. But Tuesday, I checked Instagram. There he was, posting a gym selfie captioned, "Rise above, know your value." The nerve. Lily came over with sushi, finding me cocooned in a blanket. She's been my rock, never once saying, "I told you so," despite her early doubts about Ethan. She showed me her texts with Nate, who spilled more tea. Ethan had told co-workers he dumped me because I was needy and marriage-obsessed. False. I never brought up marriage. That Pinterest board for future home goals. His idea, not mine. Nate revealed Ethan was on thin ice at work for stealing credit and might get fired. His late nights were him scrambling to fix errors. His trips never happened. Then my phone rang. Ethan's mom, Clara. She's always been kind, remembering my birthday and asking about my life. She sounded worried, saying Ethan told them we had a minor spat, but were fine. A spat? He humiliated me and stuck me with a huge bill. Clara mentioned Ethan's birthday dinner on Saturday, saying they expected me there with big news. I nearly dropped my phone. He'd told his family we were still together and planning something major. Lily and I hatched a plan. I'd go to the dinner and let the truth come out naturally, without drama. The next day, I met Nate for coffee. He confirmed Ethan's lies. He wasn't leading a team, just managing interns. His big presentation? He clicked through slides while his boss spoke. Nate also said Ethan complained I was high maintenance when I'd been covering most of our dates because he was short on cash. Mid-conversation, Ethan texted, "We need to talk. I overreacted." Overreacted? I showed Nate, who laughed. I didn't reply. Friday, Lily helped me pick an outfit. A simple red dress Ethan once called boring, but everyone else loved. I barely slept, nervous about the plan. What if his family sided with him? Saturday morning, Ethan texted, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Dress nice." I didn't respond. By 5:30 p.m., I was driving to his parents' house, hands shaking. I pulled over once to breathe, questioning my sanity. But I thought of Ethan spinning lies at his dinner, and I kept going. I arrived at 6:20, a little late to irk him. Clara and Tom, Ethan's parents, greeted me warmly. The house smelled of Clara's famous lasagna. Ethan was in the living room, laughing with his cousin. He froze when he saw me, clearly shocked I showed up. His fake smile didn't hide his panic. He whispered, "You're here. We need to talk." I smiled and said loudly, "Wouldn't miss your birthday, especially with the big news you promised." Clara gasped, excited. Ethan's sister Mia gave me a curious look. Tom joked about grandkids. Ethan tried to pull me aside, but Clara called us to dinner. My phone buzzed. Nate, "On my way, 10 minutes out." I leaned over to Ethan and said loudly, "I can't wait to tell your family about that restaurant, Ethan." His panic was everything. Second update. "Sorry for the delay. Needed a mental break after the chaos." Here's what went down at Ethan's birthday dinner. We were at the table, Clara, Tom, Mia, Ethan's grandpa, and 2 cousins. The spread was lasagna, garlic bread, and a salad no one touched. Ethan controlled the conversation, shooting me nervous looks. I stayed sweet, passing dishes, watching him squirm. Clara mentioned Ethan's big promotion, and I nearly laughed. Ethan rambled about his team's success and his boss mentoring him. Tom asked about a client deal Ethan claimed to lead. His answer was pure nonsense, corporate buzzwords. Mia caught my eye, skeptical. Clara asked about our big news, and Ethan mumbled it wasn't the right time. His grandpa bluntly asked if we were moving in together, based on Ethan's claim. News to me, we'd only joked about shared streaming accounts. I seized my moment, mentioning the restaurant dinner with Marcus and Diego. Ethan went pale. Right then, the doorbell rang. Clara answered, and in walked Nate with a folder, saying he had urgent work papers for Ethan. Tom invited him to stay, and Nate sat beside me. Tom asked Nate about the big project Ethan claimed to lead. Nate clarified their boss presented it, with Ethan in a minor role. Tom looked confused. Ethan's story didn't add up. Mia asked Nate point blank about Ethan's job title. After an awkward pause, Nate said Ethan was an administrative assistant. Silence. Tom set down his fork. Grandpa muttered something. Ethan tried to save face, claiming multiple roles. His family pressed him. No promotion, no team, no corner office, all lies. Clara tried to pivot to cake, but Mia asked me about the restaurant. I told them everything. Ethan's insults, the public breakup, the $389 bill. Ethan called me a liar, saying I embarrassed him, and the bill was teaching me responsibility. Nate backed me up, showing texts from Diego confirming it. Clara returned with the cake, stunned. Tom quietly said they needed to talk about honesty. Ethan lost it, yelling that I'd turned his family against him, calling Nate a backstabber. He screamed that I should be grateful he wasted time on me, then stormed out, knocking over a glass and breaking a picture frame. Clara apologised profusely. They insisted I stay for cake, so we ate, me, Nate and Ethan's family, without him. It was bizarre but oddly calm. Clara and I talked while cleaning up. She was heartbroken, asking if I'd seen signs. I admitted I'd ignored red flags. Tom thanked me for my honesty, looking defeated. Nate walked me to my car, revealing Ethan was on his final warning at work for lying. I drove home exhausted but relieved, like I'd shed a heavy weight. Final update, those 15 missed calls? Here's the story. Sunday morning, I woke to notifications from Clara, Mia, Nate, and unknown numbers. I called Clara first, who sounded drained. After storming out, Ethan got drunk and showed up at an ex's apartment at 2 a.m., ranting about me ruining his life. The ex called Mia, who picked him up. Ethan had also sent unhinged messages to everyone, threatening Nate's job, posting a vague Facebook rant about betrayers, and messaging Diego my address, saying he'd make me pay. Diego alerted Clara and Mia came over with coffee and pastries, horrified. My apartment was a mess, but I panic cleaned. They revealed Ethan's history of lies, claiming he was on the college soccer team when he wasn't, inventing stories about dating popular girls. My friends texted about Ethan's social media meltdown, dramatic subtweets and rants. Then Nate arrived, saying Ethan had threatened to confront me. While we strategized, my building manager knocked. Ethan had caused a scene in the lobby, demanding to see me. The manager refused and threatened police. Ethan left but yelled insults loud enough for neighbours to hear. Clara was mortified, insisting on handling him. Tom picked them up. Later, Ethan posted an old, unflattering photo of me on Instagram, captioned, "Ms. Perfect who ruined my birthday isn't so perfect." I laughed. It was pathetic. Security called when Ethan returned, pounding on my door. The guard escorted him out. Lily stayed over and we ate pizza, watched trashy TV and laughed about the drama. Ethan got fired for missing work and sending unprofessional emails. He moved to his aunt's house out of state, per Clara, who still sends me holiday cards. His social media's gone quiet. Mia says his parents cut him off until he gets help. I ran into Ethan at a store months later. He looked rough, saw me, and walked away without a word. I'm doing okay now. My apartment feels like home again. Nate and I are friends, grabbing lunch sometimes, though Lily keeps hinting at more. I'm not angry anymore, just glad I saw Ethan's true colours before things got worse. This version changes names, Ryan to Ethan, Vanessa to Lily, etc., and minor details, e.g. pot roast to lasagna, Target to a generic store, while preserving the story's essence, tone, and emotional arc. Let me know if you need further tweaks.